We have all the details about Battlefield 2042's massive update that's dropping tomorrow. DrDisrespect's NFT shooter is actually real. A Diablo Immortal streamer spent so much money on the game that it's actually become unplayable, and much more on Today in Gaming. Hey guys, LevelCap here, and Battlefield 2042's 1.2 update launches tomorrow. It includes several major changes to the game, like a complete rework of the Kaleidoscope map, balance changes, visual overhauls for 6 specialists, new quality of life improvements, bug fixes, and likely dozens of undocumented improvements players will discover when the update goes live. On top of this big stuff, the patch notes for the 1.2 update are lengthy, with many small improvements to various aspects of 2042. The update adds a proper stats page that will showcase your player performance. Portal mode is getting era-appropriate MCOM stations for rush mode rather than using Bad Company 2's for all the maps. Bad Company 2's MCOMs have also been updated with a new look and feel. DICE are adding several new modifiers for Portal that should make the editor even more powerful. Now, DICE officially ended Hazard Zone's development months ago, but 1.2 will include some leftover improvements that the devs put together before that support ended. A powerful AI tank is being added that guards big data drive caches. This adds a new challenge for anyone that's still able to play Hazard Zone. Lots of tweaks and fixes have been made for soldiers in 1.2. Auto-deploying a parachute should now actually work, rather than killing you or causing fall damage by deploying too late. Several character animations like takedowns, walking upstairs, sliding, and more have been cleaned up. You'll be able to go prone while walking backwards, and spawning on a prone soldier will also have you spawn prone. Now, the specialist improvements aren't purely cosmetic. Pike's EMG-X scanner is getting a pretty hefty buff. Its spot duration has been increased from half a second to 0.85 seconds. Using the gadget no longer automatically spots Pike for the enemy team. A big issue with Liz's special rocket launcher has been fixed that caused certain hits against the back of the T-90 tank to only do 1% damage. A significant improvement to the game's heads-up display is also being implemented. Objective markers and other in-game icons will automatically fade the closer they are to the center of your screen. Options will be available to change the strength of this effect and how big of an area the fade happens in. Ultra-wide players will also be happy to hear that horizontal HUD padding options is being added that should make it easier to see the core heads-up display elements like minimap and the weapon info panel. Overpowered weapons like the 50mm and 30 air cannon pods are getting nerfs and should give infantry more time to react. The EBAA Wildcat is also getting a pretty healthy anti-air effectiveness buff with improved targeting range and more damage over range. Finally, 1.2 is making some key balance changes to infantry weapons. Shotguns won't deal damage beyond 200 meters anymore. Currently, they do a tiny bit of damage up to 300 meters, which makes players think that they could kill someone at range and makes the victim think that they're about to die when they're actually not. The BSVM is finally getting nerfed. The full auto mode now has a 15% dispersion penalty that should reduce the accuracy at range. The higher power mag's damage drop-off starts at 50 meters now rather than 100. These tweaks should significantly reduce the gun's effectiveness beyond medium range engagements. Currently, it's the dominant weapon in the game at every range except extreme close quarters. However, DICE are nerfing the most effective CQP weapon as well. The K30's damage output has been nerfed across all ammo types in close quarters. It should take at least one extra shot to kill between 0 and 10 meters with all ammo. Overall, 1.2 looks like another significant improvement for 2042. The patch notes include a lot of stuff we didn't cover here, so be sure to hit the link in the description for the complete list. What changes stand out to you? Are you excited about the Kaleidoscope map rework? Let us know in the comments. DrDisrespect's NFT game Deadrop might be a real game after all. The legendary streamer and his new game studio, 12 AM, debuted a cinematic logo reveal for the game during a weekend event. Gameplay has also been released by people who bought it in the game's pre-release NFTs. Their footage shows a shooting range with active target dummies and a scoring system. The demo will likely be expanded or replaced by something more fully fleshed out over time. The doc says the game's vision is huge and the development will continue over the next few years. It'll eventually be a multiplayer extraction shooter with an emphasis on verticality. As it stands, the current demo is clearly just a placeholder for the game's actual vision. Nonetheless, there has been a lot of critique online with the visuals compared to some of the grandiose statements made by DrDisrespect. A recent survey for Overwatch 2's beta players suggests that the game could be using paid skins that'll cost as much as $45 a piece. The survey asks about various price points for different skin rarities. The highest tier, aka mythic skins, could be $45 based on the survey's questions. A legendary skin could be $25, a weapon charm could be $10, and there are questions about a variety of bundles ranging in price from $5 to $30. It's impossible to say if these prices have any basis in reality or if Blizzard's just testing the waters, but it's entirely possible, especially considering that Blizzard's latest game, Diablo Immortal, is heavily monetized and currently making a lot of money. Even if a $45 skin is something that 99% of the player base may not buy, Blizzard is keenly aware that there are people out there who will buy it regardless. In fact, there's even a report about a Diablo Immortal streamer who's already spent $100,000 on the game. This is noteworthy not just because of the insane amount of money, but because spending so much has awarded the streamer with gear that makes it impossible to matchmake with other players. Basically, you can buy the game's most powerful gear through microtransactions, and the matchmaking system calculates your gear's power for PvP and other activities and won't let you matchmake. So while the game is arguably pay to win, in this specific situation it seems more like it's pay to not be able to play the game. Survival shooter Grounded is leaving early access this December. Its developers say the 1.0 update will be the game's biggest ever, with new mechanics, a fully open map, new biomes, new bosses, and more. Grounded was a smash hit when it debuted 2 years ago, with top streamers playing it to thousands of viewers. To date, it has hit 10 million total players. It's currently available on PC and Xbox Game Pass. Google responded to claims that their Stadia game streaming service is getting shut down. A tweet by the Killed by Google account shows 2 images of someone who claims to work on the Stadia team, saying that Google is officially shutting down Stadia by the end of the summer. He also claims that there's no plan to transition the service to something else, like what Google did when they transferred their Play Music service to YouTube Music. That potentially means that people who paid for games on Stadia won't be able to play them anymore. However, Google's official response to these tweets is that Stadia is not getting shut down and that they'll be adding more games in the near future. Stadia has been a pretty major blunder for Google. They launched it with a plan to create original titles while supporting third-party titles. Of course, making games proved to be way more complicated than Google expected, and they shut down the Stadia game studio early last year. Their focus is now on licensing Stadia's technology and helping developers bring their games to the platform. Before we get to our final story today, don't forget to leave your thoughts about the 1.2 update for Battlefield 2042 in the comments. Also, be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss any more news videos and to support the channel. A gameplay trailer for the next Apex Legends season, Hunted, was released. It shows the new hero Vantage, who has a scoped weapon that spots enemies, a reforged version of King's Canyon with tons of big changes. There's also a new battle pass and an increased level cap for players trying to unlock their heirloom items. The update goes live on August 9th for all platforms. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.